You might be knowing that why they have introduced the computer science subject at PU level. In PU level, the computer science is one of the major subjects introduced in the aim of creating a computer qualified graduates later on. Because once you complete your PU, then again you may come back to a science stream by taking admission for the BCA course, that is Bachelor of Computer Applications course. Then once you complete that, then you have an option for going for master degree either for a 2-year course or 3-year course. That is, you can choose a 2-year course as a MSc Computer Science, or you can choose Master of Computer Applications for 3-year course. Once you complete your post graduations, then you may become a software engineer. It means there is one more route we are having to join as a software engineer. Just like the people after completion of PU science, they will join for engineering computer science, then they become a software developer. Like that, through this stream also, there is a way. Right? Okay. Now, in PUC first year, now you might have seen that the syllabus is divided into 2 parts, that is theory plus practicals, right? That is equal to, okay, theory plus practicals we have. In theory, these are just 70 marks. Then for practicals we have 30 marks. Theory 70 marks, and for practicals 30 marks. Probably you will get 100 marks by one. So in this 70 and 30, what should we learn in PUC first year? The PUC first year syllabus includes, it starts with the fundamentals of computers, that is theoretical part, because many of you have not learned the computer science as one of the subjects in your school levels. So it starts from the scratch, that is right from what is computer. From that point it starts. Then after knowing some theoretical part, first part, then in the second part it includes problem solving methodologies that teaches you how to solve the problem. Right? So after completion of that problem solving, we can move to the third part, that is C++ programming. It means it is concerned with object-oriented programming. In that we are going to study C++. It means in PU level, C++ programming has more weightage in that syllabus concerned. Then once you complete the third part as a C++ programming part, then the last part includes electronic spreadsheets, that is MS Excel, then word processor, that is MS Word, then HTML programming, right? Introductory part we are completing. So from all this, we are completing 100 marks, right? Then for 30 marks practicals, we have 3 parts. In the first part, C++ programming, one question you will get. Then remaining two parts, part B and part C, we have MS Excel and HTML programming. From that, you will get one more question. It means total in the exam you have to solve two practical programs. Right? In detail we will come to know now. So it means total of 100 marks. For scoring, this is the only subject in PU you will get as a practical oriented. So that 30 marks is the best marks that can be scored, so that it can increase the percentage by 5. So, in the theory part, we have total 37 questions will be there in your question paper. 37 questions is having total of 105 marks paper to get. From that, you have to answer compulsorily minimum 70 marks. That is 70 marks you have to score. That is the maximum marks you can score in theory. Then practically you know that 2 programs will get, and that will execute. At least one program will be executed. Then these 37 questions are divided into again 4 parts: part A, part B, part C, and part D. In part A, we have 1 mark questions. 1 mark questions are 10. All the 10 are compulsory. No choice in the 1 mark questions. Then 2 mark questions you will get. Total you will get 8 questions. From that you have to solve only 5. From that you have to solve only 5 questions. It means this is 10 marks. This is 20 marks. Sorry, 10 marks. Then we have a 3 mark questions. Total you will get 8 questions. From that we have to solve only 5. Again, we have 15 marks. Then we have 5 marks questions. Total there are 11 questions. You have to solve any 7, so that will be of 35 marks. Then make a total of these 35 plus 15, that is 50 plus 10, 60 plus 10, 70 will be the maximum marks in theory. Right? And consider the practicals. As I said that from the 3 parts, first part is compulsory, that is C++ programming. From that, 1 program will be there. And from part B and part C, either MS Excel or HTML question you will get. It means there are 2 programs you will get. From that, you have to write both the programs. Each program, write the 4, you get 6 marks. If you write 2 complete programs, that is 6 plus 6, that is total 12 marks for writing. 12 marks for writing you will get. Then from that, 1 will be executed. Right? For that, again you get 6 marks, 1 execution. In the execution, that consists of final output and its formatting. For that, we have 2 marks. Right? For output, we have 2 marks. Total becomes 12 plus 8, 20. Then remaining 10 marks, that is, remaining 10 marks are 4 marks for Viva and 6 marks for record book. Total of 30 marks. All this should be completed in complete academic year. So out of 105 marks, maximum you can score 70 in theory, and in practical maximum 30. Right? That becomes totally 100 marks. This is the pattern you have to study in first year. Then, after knowing the theory as well as practical parts, now we move on to the syllabus concerned. Right? So in the syllabus, the first chapter what we will get is again from this book. You might have taken this book. From this book, if you open the first chapter, what we are getting is overview of computers. In the overview of computers, right? That is chapter number 1. It starts with theoretical part, right? So this is the chapter 1, that is overview of a computer. So in this, we are going to study about the topics called as, first we need introduction part, then we need the computer definition. Once you know the computer definition, then we move on to the characteristics of a computer. Characteristics of computer. After doing this, we can study some terms. Some terminologies. Then we can study the block diagram of a computer. The block diagram of a computer. Then we can study the generations of a computer. Then types of computers, and lastly you can study about the applications of computers. So these are the things you have to cover under a chapter number 1 known as overview of a computer. It means all the introductory part will be covered in this chapter. That is, it starts with introduction, then computer definition you have to study. After you know what is computer, then we can move on to the characteristics of computer, then the some terms used in computer science, then after that the block diagram of computers, then the generations of computers, types of computers, this is nothing but history of computers. Then at the end we can conclude with the applications of computers. So after completion of this chapter number 1, we will get the awareness about the computer, right? And their some types which we are using in the day-to-day life, right? We conclude with the chapter 1 that the knowledge of computer science is essential in the day-to-day life. That much knowledge we'll get from the chapter number 1. So straight away we'll start with the introduction part. As you all know that nowadays the society is in need of computer professionals. It means without the computers, we are unable to perform the day-to-day tasks. It means that each and every individual in this society requires at least the awareness of computers. That's why in all the levels, the computers are introduced. In the past, in the beginning, these computers, especially if you take up around 3 decades back, in the 90s, the computers were used in the limited fields. The computers may be used for only science fields. The computer science subject will be learned by only the science student in the 3 decades back. But today, that's changed. The computers can be learned by each and every individual in the present days. Now, in the past, we were listening about the computers were used in the particular fields that we are naming. Because the fields were limited, we can easily name them at that time. But we start the same question today, it is endless. Because you all know that computers are used in each and every field in the present days. That's why you can ask the question in a reverse way today. That is, name the field in which computers are not yet introduced. This question will be asked in the present days, just in a span of 3 decades. It means the computer has changed the human beings' lifestyle now, right? So basically, the development of computer was required for calculation purpose. In the initial stage, these computers were used as one of the calculating tools. But in the present days, this is the backbone of all our day-to-day life. Means nowadays, computers, just like you can say that, part and parcel of our life. Without that, we cannot survive, right? So with this, we may conclude the first part, that is introduction. Right? What we are concluding? In the present days, the knowledge of computer is required for each and every individual. Right? This is the conclusion we can get from the introduction part. Right? If you are studying as a course, fine. Otherwise, the later stage you can study for survival purpose. But one or the other day, each and every individual must get the knowledge of computer. This is the day now we have, right? We have reached that day. Now, after completion of this, now we move on to the computer definition. Computer definition. Some of you might have studied in your school levels You might be knowing the definition of computer, right? But that definition is updated now. That you have to update yourself. One definition what you learned in the school level is fine. Along with that, now what we will discuss in the today's class, that you have to update it. So some are new for this course. They never learned a computer as one of the subjects in their school level. Don't worry about that, because it started from scratch itself. Now this topic, that is computer definition. What is a computer? What is a computer? That question will raise now, right? What is a computer? So before defining this, we'll take an example. One example ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋಣ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮದರ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೊಂದೇನೋ ಮನೇಲಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ಏನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೈಯಿಂದ ಟೀ ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕುಡಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಟೀ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೈಯಾರೆ ನೀವು ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತ ಟೀನ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮದರ್ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ? ನನಗೊಂದು ಕಪ್ ಟೀ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡು ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ? ನೋಡಿ 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 ಕಲ್ತ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಏನ್ ಕಲ್ತಿದೀವಿ ನೋಡಿ ನೋಡಿ? ಹೌ ಟು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಎ ಟೀ. ಟೀ ಹೇಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ. ಸೊ ಟಾಸ್ಕ್ ಏನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಯ್ತು ಮದರು? ಕಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೀ, ಒಂದು ಕಪ್ ಟೀ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಹೌ ಟು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ದಟ್? ನೋಡೋಣ. ಹೌ ಟು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್, ರೈಟ್? ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. How to prepare a tea? Tea ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ. ಸುಮ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ಕೋಣ ಏನೇನಂತ. ಟಾಸ್ಕ್ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ? ನಮ್ಮ ಟಾಸ್ಕ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಎ ಟೀ, ರೈಟ್? ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ ಈಗ? ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ ಟೀ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ? ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ. ಏನ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ? ಕೆಲವೊಂದನ್ನ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗೋದು ಬೇಡ. ಮೇನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಟೀ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಬೇಕು, ನೀರು ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಫೈನ್. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಟೀ ಪೌಡರ್ ಬೇಕು, ಗುಡ್. ಸಕ್ಕರೆ ಬೇಕು, ಶುಗರ್. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮಿಲ್ಕ್, ಹಾಲು ಬೇಕು. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು? ಒಂದ್ ಕಪ್ ಟೀ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಇಂಗ್ರೀಡಿಯೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕು ನಮ್ಗೆ. ಏನೇನ್ ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ? ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನಿದೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ, ರೈಟ್? What are the ingredients required? The ingredients required to prepare it is first water, ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ tea powder, then sugar, ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ milk. These are things required. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಇದ್ರೆ we can prepare tea. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಓಕೆ. ಟೀ ಹೇಗೆ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಈಗ? ಓಕೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದಾವೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ. We have all these four things required to prepare a tea. Then process ಏನು? Process ಏನು? Water ಬಾಯ್ಲ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು. ವಾಟರ್ ಬಾಯ್ಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? ಓಕೆ, ವಾಟರ್ ಬಾಯ್ಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಮುಂದೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ? ವಾಟರ್ ಬಾಯ್ಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ, ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಟೀ ಪೌಡರ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ, ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಶುಗರ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ, right? Will boil completely. Then we can add milk. Correct? ಏನೇನು ಇಂಗ್ರೀಡಿಯಂಟ್ ಇದಾವ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ವಾಟರ್ ಬಾಯ್ಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಟೀ ಪೌಡರ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಶುಗರ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಿಲ್ಕ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಬಾಯ್ಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ ಏನ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ನಮಗೆ? ಟೀ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ವಾಟರ್ ಬಾಯ್ಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ, ಟೀ ಪೌಡರ್ ಇದೆ, ಶುಗರ್ ಇದೆ, ಮಿಲ್ಕ್ ಇದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿ ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಟೀ ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಈಗ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿ ಬಾಯ್ಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ರೈಟ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕಾಫಿ ಬರುತ್ತಾ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಕಾಫಿ ಬರ್ಬೋದಾ? ವಾಟರ್ ಬಾಯ್ಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ, ಟೀ ಪೌಡರ್ ಹಾಕಿದೀನಿ, ಶುಗರ್ ಹಾಕಿದೀನಿ, ಮಿಲ್ಕ್ ಹಾಕಿದೀನಿ, ಆದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ ಕಾಫಿ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಹುದಾ? ಕಾಫಿ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅನ್ಬಹುದಾ? ಕಾಫಿ ಕುಡಿದಂಗ ಆಗತ್ತಾ? ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಅದು ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಸಾಧ್ಯನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾಫಿ ಕುಡಿದಂಗ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಾನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಟೀ ಪೌಡರ್, ಕಾಫಿ ಪೌಡರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಸಿಗತ್ತೆ ನನಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಅದೇ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ. ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ? ಇಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಒಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್. ನಾನು ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಏನ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಕಾಣ್ತಾರೋ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ನೀಡ್ಸ್ ಟು ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಎ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅಂದಾಗ ಒನ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಟರ್ಮ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಇನ್ಪುಟ್, ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್, ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್. ಇನ್ಪುಟ್, ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್, ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಈ ಮೂರು ಟರ್ಮ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್. ರೈಟ್? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಅದೇ ಆಗಿದೆ. ವಾಟರ್ ಬಾಯ್ಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದಿರಾ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ? ಬಾಯ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಡೆಡ್ ಟೀ ಪೌಡರ್ಸ್, ಶುಗರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮಿಲ್ಕ್. ದೆನ್ at the end result ನೋಡಿದಾಗ what we are getting? A tea is ready. Tea ready ಆದಾಗ ಕಾಫಿ ಅನ್ನಲ್ಲ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನಿದೆ, this output is directly depends on your inputs. What are the input it will be processed, the same thing you will get it as an output. ಇದು ಒಂದು. ಅಥವಾ ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನೋಡೋಣ. then we will define what is computer. that is simple ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ fine, or else you go for one more example. that is throughout the year ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ throughout the year ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? throughout the year they will study their subjects. ವರ್ಷ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು? one fine day exam ಇರುತ್ತೆ. in the exam they will process their knowledge, what they have learned in the full year. Right? Depends on what they are processing on that day. Depends on that they will get their results. Correct? Input ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್. ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಥ್ರೂಔಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ನಾವೇನು ನಾಲೆಜ್ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಯಾರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? ಇನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ರೂಮ್ ದ ಲೆಕ್ಚರರ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನೀಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ? ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್. ನಾನು ನಿಮಗೆ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್. ನೀವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು? ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ರೈಟ್? ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷ ಪೂರ್ತಿ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಈಗ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಆದ್ರು ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಎರಡು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ ಜೊತೆಗೆ. ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದಮ್. ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವ್ಯೂ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್. ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. on the result day you are writing in the on the paper, that is nothing but a process. When that process completes you get the results. Results edame barutte throughout the year, what you have studied, what you have understood, based on that you get the results. Right? ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಬರ್ತೀರಾ ಅದನ್ನ ಬರ್ದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. the result ಎದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಇದೆ? throughout the year ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದೀರಾ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಡೇ ಬಂದಾಗ. Right? whether you are work hard for the particular subject or not, that can be concluded on the result day. ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀರಾ, ನೀವು ಓದಿದ್ರಾ, ಓದಿಲ್ಲ, ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಓದಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂತ. that is nothing but your percentage of marks. Right? ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನೋಡೋಣ. Take one more example, that is how to prepare an apple juice. How to prepare an apple juice. So, this question answer kuda. We all know. Because ನಾನು ಅವಾಗ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, ನೋಡಿ ನೋಡಿ ಕಲ್ತ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ. ಕಲಿಬೇಕಂತೂ ಕಲ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಕಲಿಸಲ್ಲ, ನೋಡಿ ನೋಡಿ ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ತಾನೇ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರತ್ತ. ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಓದಿ ಓದಿ ಕಲ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದೇ ಸಲ ಓದಿ ಬರೋಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ, ಓದ್ತಾನೆ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಓನ್ ರೀಡಿಂಗ್, ಗೆಟ್ ದ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಆಫ್ ದಾಟ್. ರೈಟ್? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ನೋಡಿ. ಹೌ ಟು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಅನ್ ಆಪಲ್ ಜ್ಯೂಸ್. How to prepare apple juice? We know that mixer, we need a mixer. Grinding mixer. Then what we need in the initial stage? That is apple juice. Whether you have to purchase mangoes from the market, mangoes tarana, apple juice bekadre, apple juice bekadre, you have to purchase apples. To bring the apples. So apple togolli, right? Apple. You have purchased the apple. Then the primary things we have completed. It means washing, that is cleaning. Then removing the layers, everything is clear. Then you get the pieces, right? Pieces of apple are put into the mixer jar. Mixer jar you have to do, correct? Then, what are the ingredients you want for your taste? You can add. Add the ingredients. Right? Required according to your taste. Right? After that, switch on the mixer. Then mixer does its work, that is mixing work. Once the task is completed, then what you get is apple juice. Correct? So if you observe here, what is mixer here? Nowadays, I'm taking nowadays, mixer is an electronic device. Mixer is an electronic device. Then what it does, its task is to mix it. Right? Mixer is an electronic device, its task is to mix it. Then what it does, it collects the pieces of apple. It collects the pieces of the apples. Then, according to your taste, you have added the ingredients to it. Then, you have switched off the mixer. Mixer functions properly. Then, after some time, you have required thing, that is apple juice is ready. Have it. Ready ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ತಗೋಬಹುದು. ಈ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದೇ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ. ನಾನು ಮಿಕ್ಸರ್ ಜಾರಿಗೆ ಆಪಲ್ ಪೀಸಸ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇಂಗ್ರೀಡಿಯೆಂಟ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಂಗೋ ಜ್ಯೂಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತಾ ಅಂತ. ಬರ್ಬೋದಾ? ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಮ್ಯಾಂಗೋ ಜ್ಯೂಸ್? ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ರೈಟ್? ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಾನು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಪೀಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಪಲ್ಸ್, ಮ್ಯಾಂಗೋ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಪೀಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಪಲ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಆಪಲ್ ಜ್ಯೂಸೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್. ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಎದರ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನೀವು ಏನು ಕಲಿತೀರಾ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್, that directly helps you to get the good results. Only input in this process, it means when you compare these three parts, this I consider it as input, then process, I have written there, process, then output. Mixer is an electronic device which takes input, processes it and gives meaningful output. And it gives meaningful output. Right? So This is nothing but the definition of a computer. We have defined computer. Computer is an electronic device. So what is computer? Computer is an electronic device or machine which takes input processes it and gives meaningful output. Computer is an electronic device or a machine which takes input, processes it and gives meaningful output. Right? This is the definition you have to update yourself. Right? This definition you should be learned. Now, one more definition also can do that. The simple will take computer is an electronic machine or a device which performs. See, one more definition. Computer is an electronic device which performs calculation or manipulation, stores, displays and prints the information. I'll repeat. No definition. Computer and brain on that. Computer is an electronic machine which performs calculation or manipulation, stores, displays and prints the information. This is second definition. In this definition, we have taken the terms like calculation. If it is a number concerned, we go for calculation. If it is a text based, it performs manipulation operation. Then you all know that computers have a huge memory, right? It is used for storage, it stores. Then the computer is having a monitor which is used to display the information, and one more device is there, that is a printer. That device is used to print the information, right? So in the today's class we'll conclude here because you have reached the definition of computer. In the next class also we'll start with what is computer, then we'll go for next the characteristics of computer.